Hi crafty friends! Today is Waste Not Wednesday, so I have a special video, and as you can see I'm trying out a new camera angle, so we're going to see if that works. I don't know if you'll be able to see close enough, but I'm hoping that the shadow and things will be better. So if you like the new angle, go ahead and hit like and comment, tell me what you think, and we'll see how it works. Alright, today is, as I said, Waste Not Wednesday, so I have a special fun project, and as you can see, my table is full of stuff. I don't know if you remember the carousel that I made and the crown on top using a an oatmeal canister. So here's my oatmeal canister. Ooh. Right now I've got it full of junk, but I'm going to be using the rest of this canister to make a bird cage today. And I've already started with some of my pieces, otherwise this again would be a forever long video, but I did want to share a couple of things that I did. First of all, I took a piece of a I think it was like a frozen pizza box. It had like 4 or 5 pizzas in it, and I cut it apart, much like you could use a cereal box or whatever. So I cut the sides off so it looked something like this. And yes, I should have left it together so that you could see what I was doing, but I didn't. I got so excited about the project that I just went ahead and cut all my strips. So anyway, the pizza box looked something like that. And I used my the Deco Arts Crackle medium with some different colored paints and the metallic lusters from Deco Arts, and I made these the pizza boxes in a crackle effect. So I wanted it super shiny and very metallic-y, but also, you know, kind of odd. But what I did both sides, but what I discovered is in order to get the really crackle look, you can't let the crackle medium dry all the way. It has to be still kind of tacky in order to get the crackle look. So if you're ever wondering about crackle mediums and things like that, just make sure that you paint first, then you lay down your crackle medium, and you can use the Deco Arts crackle medium, but I understand you could also use just regular glue. Not Mod Podge because it's too thin, but regular glue, and let it sit until it gets kind of tacky, and then paint your second color over it. And I did that, I used the crackle medium, but I did that with these, and then I used the metallic lusters from Deco Arts to rub in some different colors. And I don't know if you can see the purples and I think it's copper in there. So now it looks like that. So I did that on the pizza box and on the piece of my oatmeal canister. But as you can tell, on the oatmeal canister, the crackle didn't work real well because I let it dry too much. So I just kind of went in with my purple and copper metallic lusters and changed the color that way. It kind of does the same, basically the same thing, but most of this is going to get covered up anyway, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. So once I had my pizza box painted, I cut the strips, and I should have, after cutting them all, I realized that they were a little bit too wide, but I cut them at 1/4 of an inch, I believe. I lied. They were 1/2 inch. So I cut them 1/2 inch wide, but that ended up being too thick. So then I just cut them down to 1/4 of an inch, and in order to do that, I just eyeballed it. So I took my scissors and just kind of cut them apart like that. So now I have thinner strips, just like that. right, I also have my glue gun warming up because we're going to do some gluing. And I apologize, my throat is really scratchy today, so I have my coffee. I know I should be drinking water, but you know, ew, water. All right, so I'm not terribly worried that this is so wide, and because it really should have been a little bit thinner, but like I said, a lot of it's going to get covered up, so I wanted to make sure that I had, you know, enough play area. And basically what we're going to do is just take our strips that we did and glue it around the inside of our bottom frame. So I hope my glue gun is hot enough, and I'm just going to lay down some glue, and I want my crackle side to show, so I'm putting it facing out. I almost messed up. Did you see that? All right, and I'm just going to squish it down. Use my, ooh, fingers aren't working today, are they? So I'm just going to squish that down. And I'm not going to be real, you know, fussy about the measurements. I'm just going to lay down a strip of hot glue and lay down a strip of my pizza box. And I guess I'm putting it about an inch apart. But like I said, I'm not going to be real fussy about it. Blue strings everywhere. All right. So it's going to look something like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and I'm going to go ahead and attach all of the strips. So I'll come back with all the strips attached. Okay, and I am back with my sticky thing. So I used, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 strips to go around my oatmeal canister piece. And what will happen is they'll all kind of go something like that, so that you have an awesome little bird cage. But because I'm not normal and I don't like things plain, we're going to spruce it up a bit with lots of different pieces. And these strips are not, they don't go all the way around, so I can't use them as supports. I guess I could, but I just have to glue a couple together. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to glue these together with a little strip here as a support piece. And then on the other side, I have this awesome blingy ribbon stuff that I'm going to adhere to the right side, so that that's the part that shows, and it will also hide the seam. And for the seam, I have a piece of a envelope from the post office that someone sent a package in, and I'm just reusing, again, because it's Waste Not Wednesday, I'm reusing strips of it. This stuff is called Tyvek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but a lot of people use it in their scrapbook mini albums when they're doing the binding. And this stuff works really good because it's tough and you cannot tear it. So this is what we're using as our support piece for our wraparound bar. And I don't know if I want to leave it wide or not. I don't know. Let's see how wide our ribbon is, shall we? And our ribbon is pretty wide, but I'm going to cut it in half. So if I do a little test swatch here to see how wide it is. Oh, I didn't realize it's sticky back already. Awesome. Except it wants to stick to me. All right, if I use it here, it will just fit. See? So I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'll use the skinnier strips for my braces. Almost there. So while I'm doing this, just a reminder, I'm doing a 40 subscriber challenge and giveaway, and I'll put the link to the instructions in the description. I'm super excited about it. I already have someone who said they would help. Anyway, it's a steampunk toilet paper roll mini pocket page challenge. So I'm super excited for everybody to be a part of that. Like I said, I'll put the link to that in the description for you guys. All right, and because that's white, I think I'm going to color it black. Excuse me. Just so it's not as noticeable. So I just took a permanent marker and just coloring it in. Now it kind of blends. All right. So what I'm going to do now is take my glue or my hot glue, and I'm just going to glue the strips to my blingy brace bar. So it's going to look something like that. And yes, I realize it's not real straight, but I'll straighten it out as I go so that it'll be a little less wonky. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video here while I straighten up my mess, and I will be right back. And I am back, and now we have this. And I know it looks a little wonky, but that's okay. Like I said, I want it to look hand forged, so it is a little awkward right now. But when we put the top part on, it kind of evens itself out a little bit, and it doesn't look quite as strange, but that's okay. Now what we need is something at the top to hold all of our pieces or to glue all of our parts to. And I'm not going to use this flower. I was just playing. What I do have is a piece of, kind of looks like mulberry paper, but it's really stiff. Maybe it's homemade paper. I don't know. Handmade paper. So what I'm going to do is cut out a circle, and I'm just freehanding it. You don't have to be crazy. I mean, you could measure and cut and all that stuff, but you guys know I don't do that unless I'm trying to be super precise, and on this project I'm not. I want it to be awkward and crazy. All right, got a lot of glue strings. Oh, a tip from one of the YouTube videos I was watching. You know how everybody is driven absolutely insane by glue strings? Well, guess what? You can use your heat tool, heat it up, and melt all of those strings, and they disappear. And I can't remember what video I watched that had that little tip, but I'm passing it on because it's an awesome tip. All right, so what I'm going to do now is kind of, I don't even know yet because I haven't really thought about it, quite honestly. But I think what I'm going to do is just put a giant glob of hot glue in the middle of this, and then just kind of squish it and stick it in there. Something like that. We'll see how that works. Much happier now. Like that. All right. Now what we need to do is figure out where we're going to put our door, because I want my birdcage to have a door, I think. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Now that I'm thinking about it and looking at it, maybe I don't. I think I won't. But I do want to make sure that whatever I do, I leave room for my birdie. Sorry about that. My birdie was stuck under the camera. So I visited almost every single Michael's in my city, and I finally found one. None of my Michael's stores had a crow or a raven, but I did find one. So I'm going to use my pretty black and purple raven in my birdcage. Isn't he cute? But before I do that, I want to add some feathers to his tail because his tail's kind of plain. So I have a package of feathers somewhere over the rainbow. I don't sing, and there's a reason for that. there's his tail. And Fiona, she used a tiny curling iron, and she actually curled her feathers. I'm not going to do that, although it was absolutely gorgeous. She's an amazing crafter, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave him just like that, because when he sits on his little perch, I want his feathers to kind of stick out. So it'll go something like, oh, get your head in there. Something like that. See? Isn't that going to be pretty? All right. So now I need to get him back out of there. I need a skewer that our little birdie friend can sit on. And I'm going to use, this has a little clip on it, a little clothespin kind of thing. Sorry. So it's like that. I'm just going to use that, but I'm going to fill it with hot glue and stick our little bird friend so I'm going to put the skewer on the bottom like that, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'll glue it to the top. Maybe that's what I'll do. Glue it like that, so that he can sit. Gotta make sure that's not too high for him. All right, this is frustrating me. So I'm going to take a short break and see what I can do with Mr. Bird. But at any rate, here's your bird cage, and I'm going to do some more decorating to it, spruce it up just a bit, run my bling around the bottom. Let's go ahead and do that while I leave. Throw Birdie in the trash. Alright, see? And I'm just running it around. Alright, now it's blingy. Yay! I may rip that off and just do that. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's use some more hot glue. I kind of like that. So, all right, like I said, I'm going to take a break, do some thinking, and I'll probably just have a part 2 because the rest of it's just really decorating. But for this Waste Not Wednesday, I did use my oatmeal canister and a pizza box in order to make a bird cage. How fun! I'm super excited. And I also used a piece of recycled Tyvek from an envelope, a package that someone sent me. Anyway, I'll probably do a part 2 maybe later tonight, but we'll see how I feel about it. I need to do some thinking. It was just really an idea I had in my head because I really wanted the bird cage, but the decorations are, you know, that takes me some time. So, yeah, that's my birdcage. I'm happy. So, all right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and look for part 2 pretty soon. So, like I said, maybe tonight. I don't know. Anyway, also don't forget, I will put a link to my steampunk toilet paper roll mini pocket page with tag 40 subscriber giveaway, so that you guys can participate in that too. All right, talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.